Hello everybody, today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and test the Nikon Nikkor 70-300mm VR lens. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So this is a Nikon Nikkor zoom lens with vibration reduction or VR. And just taking a quick look around the outside of the box to show you some of its specifications. And now let's go ahead and open it up by, of course, cutting apart the security seal. And taking a quick look in the box packaging, lifting out the contents and setting them across the tabletop. And removing the lens from its packaging and taking a look inside, making sure nothing else is left behind. So just checking through very thoroughly inside the box packaging, making sure nothing else is left behind. So you can see the box emptied. You can set the box to the side. Let's set it on the left hand side right there, as we continue to show you the contents which we've just removed. So let's take a look at this booklet here. So you can see pretty comprehensive and large booklet here for the Nikon Nikkor 70-300mm VR lens. So as you can see, that the user manual or user guide is covered in seven different languages. And just going to quickly open it up just to show you what's covered in this user manual. So it does open up pretty wide, the way that it's laid out, covering 7 languages for this user manual. So giving you a quick look just right there on the English panel. And of course specifications, so each column there giving you the details of the lens. Okay, so obviously there's too much to cover in the many different languages and it's a bit fiddly to show you this on the camcorder, but giving you just the gist, an idea of what the user manual covers. So right there we can set it down and to the side right there. And moving on to the lens itself, you can see it is wrapped up in a plastic bag. Let's remove it from its plastic bag to show you this lens. So you can see nicely packaged and pretty long. One thing I noticed straight away is the weight. So it does have a noticeable weight to it. Just giving you an all-round look before we take a close-up look at it. Okay, just going to set the box further to the left slightly. Just doesn't interfere too much with the foreground as we take a look at the lens. So right there, the Nikon Nikkor 70-300mm VR lens. And just resting it in the palm of my hand, which I normally do, to give you some sense of scale and perspective of the size of this lens. So right there, gripping it and just resting it freely in the palm of my hand. Okay, so just showing you the details, the top of the lens there with the specifications right there. And giving you that close-up look now. So there is a non-VR version or a version of this lens without vibration reduction, so keep an eye out when you're ordering online. Even when you receive your package, make sure that the package or box packaging does have the VR symbol on it if that's what you're after. So of course a plastic construction, and of course zooming, the autofocus or manual focus ring has a very smooth action, and silent as well. And it turns extremely fluidly, very smooth and silent. Okay, and of course extending the lens right there, maximum extension. And fully retracted. Okay, let's set it down. Actually, just let me pop the lens cap off so you can see right at the front lens. And of course, with it extended, and retracted, extended and retracted. And let's put the cap back on. And what I do have here is a Nikon D3300 DSLR with a Nikon Nikkor 55-200mm lens right there. So it is also a VR lens. So we're going to show you the size comparison side by side right there between the 55 and 200mm lens against the 70 and 70 to 300mm lens right there. So with it fully extended on the 55 to 200mm VR lens, it just about edges out the 300mm lens in length while it's still closed. Okay, let's go ahead and pop the 55 to 200mm lens off. It does also have fitted on the lens a Waka MC 52mm UV filter, which I recently unboxed, so you can always look out for that unboxing on the channel. So it is an ultra slim UV lens, or UV filter, beg your pardon, and it does work very well and very nicely. Okay, put the lens cap back on and remove the lens just to show you a side-by-side comparison. So right there, the 55 to 200mm lens on my left and the 70 to 300mm lens in my right hand. So you can see the size difference is pretty noticeable. Weight wise, the one on the right of course is heavier, but just slightly heavier, not too noticeable in weight, but in size, huge difference right there, as you can see for yourself with this side by side right there, trying to line up both of them as best I can. Okay, so now lastly, I'm gonna extend both of them fully so you can see for yourself what they look like side by side, fully extended. Okay, so right now I'm going to remove the protective cap on the end there, and then fit it on the Nikon D3300 right there, snapping and clicking. So right now you have this really long lens on a relatively compact DSLR camera right there. And with it fully retracted, there we go, giving you a good look. And before I do that, let's put the protective cap back on, the 55-200mm VR lens, and just set it to the side right there. And then giving you that look right now of the lens fully extended right there and fully closed or retracted. Okay, so now let's go ahead and test it outdoors and show you the results of this Nikon Nikkor 70-300mm VR lens.